gets when they get a little education?
They go to school and don't learn anything.
As Lonnie's voice is like 3 octaves higher than that, Micah. Go ahead.
I think what she means by that is maybe like they might focus too much on their education.
So she's saying you shouldn't focus so much on your education. I think you might be right. Continue.
Yes, well, I guess I better get on home. Of course, I can understand how she must be proud of everything, being the only one in the family to make something of herself. I know just being a chauffeur ain't never satisfied brother none. He shouldn't feel like that, though. Ain't nothing wrong with being a chauffeur. What?
My husband always said being any kind of a servant wasn't a fit thing for a man to have to do. He always said a man's hands were made to make things, or to turn the earth with not to drive nobody's car for or carry them slop jars. And my boy is just like him. He wasn't meant to wait over him.
The younger is too much for me. You sure one proud acting bunch of colored folks. Well, I always think like Booker T. Washington said that time, education has spoiled many a good plowed hand.
Is that what that old Booker T said?
He sure did.
What sounds like it? That's the fool.
Well, he was one of our great men.
No, who said so?
You know, me and you ain't never agreed about some things being a younger. I guess I better be going.
Who's gonna be real?
Me, okay, Ruthie.
Good night.
I want to be Ruth.
Good night, O. You can keep the paper at night.
I want to be Ruthie.
So who's on the real? I said Ruth and Mom.
All right, so we're gonna pause for a second. As Lonnie, Takara, and Namaya, let's give us some stats. Really nice reading. Really nice reading. It was really strong. Hold on. I'm gonna assign parts in just a second. So before we get there, though, we're gonna discuss what just happened. So we heard the line again that we did for our do now. We heard the line where we hear the youngers, they do it too much from Ms. Johnson. And then we also heard this argument back and forth between Mama and Mrs. Johnson. What were they arguing about? Think about what we did in class yesterday. Tanisha? Right. So we heard an argument about Booker T. Washington. So what I want you to discuss with the people sitting around you is I want you to try to make a connection between what Mrs. Johnson says, the youngers is too much for me. Make a connection between that and then what they're saying about Booker T. Washington. So there's something that's similar between those two statements. Think about, I will repeat it. Actually, I'll ask someone else to repeat it back. What are you discussing? Can you repeat it back?
What they feel about Booker T. Washington?
Right, and how it relates to what specifically?
Her being sick of it.
Right, so when she's saying the youngers is too much for me, think about how that relates to the argument that they're having about Booker T. Washington. There's some really important connection. So go ahead, I'm going to give you a minute and a half to discuss with the people sitting around you, starting now. So we're thinking about,
I thought Azami was.
alright, you know what, that's my fault. I wasn't clear enough on what to discuss, because when I said start talking, everybody was still silent. So I'm going to try to explain it a little better. Okay. So let's break this down as a group, and we'll make this connection. So first of all, what do we remember about why Booker T. Washington is mentioned in this play? What's the importance of the reference to Booker T. Washington in A Raisin in the Sun? We wrote about it yesterday in our text pen questions. Joanne? Hold on, that's not what you want. Go ahead. Okay. So we just got some really good analysis from Joanne. She said, so she said, one of our characters agrees with what Booker T. Washington said about education. Who is that? Who agrees with Booker T. Washington? Mrs. Johnson.
I'm Ruth.
What? Marie, look in your book on page 103. Give us, it's Lonnie. Marie, give us an example of a quotation that shows us that Mrs. Johnson agrees with Booker T. Washington. It's right in the middle of 103.
It says, I always think like the Booker T. Washington